This is the presentation on chemistry for online biology at Oklahoma City Community College. You may be asking yourself, why are we studying chemistry in a biology class? The reason is that all living organisms are made of many chemicals. Life processes occur at the chemical level. It is essential to have some knowledge of chemistry in order to understand how organisms function and what goes wrong in various disease processes. First, we will discuss matter. Matter is anything that takes up space and has mass. That is, it can be weighed. In this picture, you can see mountains that are made of matter. They take up a lot of space and have an enormous mass. Water is also made of matter. The bodies of the couple in the foreground are also made of matter. An element is one kind of matter. Carbon is an element found in all living things. Nitrogen is also a common element in living organisms. Oxygen is another common element of all living things. Hydrogen is also found in large quantities in living organisms. These are the four main elements that make up the bodies of living organisms. There are many more elements that occur in smaller amounts. Our bodies are made up of the elements of the earth, although not in the same proportions. An element is one kind of matter, and a compound is two or more elements combined together. Carbon dioxide is an example of a compound. It is made up of one carbon atom connected to two oxygen atoms. Sodium chloride is another compound. It is made of sodium combined with chloride. Water is another compound. Water is made of two hydrogen atoms connected to one oxygen atom. Atoms are minute particles that make up matter. Atoms are extremely small. We know much about atoms from atomic theory. Molecules are made of two or more atoms joined together. An atomic model helps us understand how atoms react with each other. Our model in this diagram illustrates the three main parts of an atom. A proton is an atomic subparticle that has a positive charge. The neutron is another subatomic particle. It has a neutral charge. Protons and neutrons are found in the center or the nucleus of the atom, and negative electrons spin around the nucleus of an atom. This table summarizes some of the characteristics of these three subatomic particles. The proton is positive. It has been assigned a mass of 1 unit. If we were to express the weight of a proton in grams, it would be so small that the number would be very difficult to use. Therefore, we use a different system to compare subatomic particles. A single proton is considered to have a mass unit of 1. Neutrons do not have a charge. They are neutral. Their mass is essentially the same as a proton. They have a mass unit of 1. Electrons have a negative charge. Their mass is so small that it's considered to be near zero. Electrons determine the chemical behavior of the atom. Knowledge of atoms and their subatomic particles will help you understand how chemicals react in the body. The term atomic number refers to how many protons are in an atom. Hydrogen has only one proton. It therefore has an atomic number of 1. Carbon has 6 protons, so it has an atomic number of 6. Oxygen has an atomic number of 8 because it always has 8 protons. The number of protons always equals the number of electrons in an atom. The negative electrons balance out the positive protons to keep the atom neutral or uncharged. The atomic mass number refers to the number of protons and neutrons in an atom. Hydrogen has an atomic number of 1. The atomic mass number for hydrogen is also 1. Can you determine the number of protons, neutrons, and electrons from this information? The atomic number tells us that hydrogen has 1 proton. We also know it has 1 electron because the number of protons and electrons are the same in an atom. How do you determine the number of neutrons? Subtracting the atomic number from the atomic mass unit for the atom will give you the number of neutrons. So 1 minus 1 is 0. There are no neutrons in most forms of hydrogen. Here is a diagram of the hydrogen atom. The nucleus in the center has just 1 proton. Orbiting around the nucleus is a single electron. The diagram is not actually to scale. If you enlarge the proton to the size of a marble, the distance between the proton and the orbiting electron would be the length of a football field. Electrons orbit the nucleus of an atom in different orbits or energy levels. The further the electron is away from the nucleus, the more energy it has. The first energy level is closest to the nucleus. It can hold up to 2 electrons. If an atom has more than 2 electrons, they will not all fit in the first energy level. This atom shows a second energy level. The second energy level can hold up to 8 electrons. The third energy level is stable with just 8 electrons. It can hold more than 8, but we will not study those atoms in this course. Carbon has an atomic number of 6 and an atomic mass number of 12. Given this information, can you determine the number of protons, neutrons, and electrons? There are 6 protons because the atomic number is 6. There are 6 neutrons. We subtract the atomic number from the atomic mass number, or 12 minus 6 equals 6. We know there are 6 electrons since the number of electrons is the same as the number of protons in an atom. This represents the nucleus of a carbon atom. The 6 plus represents 6 positive protons. 6 with a 0 superscript represents 6 neutrons. The first energy level holds 2 electrons. Where will the other 4 electrons go? They should be in the second energy level. Now all 6 electrons are in our diagram. This diagram represents a carbon atom with 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. We were able to construct this diagram from our knowledge of atomic number, atomic mass number, and the basic pattern of how atoms are organized. Oxygen has an atomic number of 8 and an atomic mass number of 16. Can you use this information to construct a diagram of an oxygen atom? Pause this presentation and see if you can draw a diagram of an oxygen atom. The nucleus of the oxygen atom will have 8 protons and 8 neutrons. There will be 2 electrons in the first energy level. There should be 6 electrons in the second energy level. Many elements have 2 or more types of atoms. Each type is called an isotope. An isotope is an atom of an element with a different number of neutrons than other atoms of the same element. All the atoms of a given element always have the same number of protons. I will next discuss the isotopes of carbon. Each isotope of carbon has 6 protons. Carbon-12 has 6 neutrons. It's by far the most common of the isotopes of carbon. Carbon-13 has 7 neutrons. Carbon-14 has 8 neutrons. And carbon-15 has 9 neutrons. Atomic weight is the average of the mass numbers of all the isotopes of an element. The atomic weight of carbon is 12.01. This number is the average of the mass numbers of carbon-12, 13, 14, and 15. The reason the atomic weight is so close to 12 is because nearly all of the carbon atoms found in nature are carbon-12. Many isotopes are radioactive. This means they decompose and give off radioactive particles. The nuclei of heavier isotopes break down at a constant rate known as the half-life of the isotope. A half-life is the time it takes for half of the isotope to break down. Isotopes are very useful in science and medicine. Carbon-14 is used for dating the age of skeletons. A PET scan uses isotopes to construct images of soft tissue in the body. Isotopes of iodine are used in thyroid studies. Cobalt isotopes are used in cancer treatment. The radioactive particles given off by cobalt can kill cancer cells. This slide shows a PET scan that uses an isotope to spot a brain tumor. Carbon-14 is used to determine the age of skeletons. It is only useful for bones less than 50,000 years old. Other isotopes are used for older dates.